My role was to work as a Stabilisation Advisor for HMG in South Sudan. It was a 3-month assignment before I was permanently replaced by Helen Lewis. So my role was really to tackle the areas and the populations most at risk of conflict and insecurity across South Sudan, and of course this was immediately after independence on the 9th of July, so it was an exciting time to be there. So what that meant was that the focus of my effort was on a couple of very large stabilisation related programs, the South Sudan Recovery Fund and the Community Security and Small Arms Control Program. Now within that we also seconded 2 other stabilisation advisors into UNDP to work in the most conflict affected states in South Sudan to help administer and make sure that we implemented the South Sudan Recovery Fund as effectively as we could. Well, there's one thing that strikes you about South Sudan is that it's a vast country. Its infrastructure is almost non-existent. So things take a lot of time, and it's also affected by a lack of access caused by the wet season. So the wet season had just started when I was there. So in terms of noticeable changes over the 3 months, there weren't a lot of dramatic changes. You saw a lot of changes in the kind of the makeup and the structure of the international community. So you saw the new UN mission, you saw a lot of the donor organisations create independent missions. So you saw a lot of positioning of the organisations to become much more effective as institutional partners of the South Sudan government going forward. If you look programmatically at the South Sudan Recovery Fund, which was £50 million allocated across 4 states in key areas such as roads, police posts, water points to try to tackle areas at risk of conflict. Whilst we didn't see a lot of noticeable changes in that time, the program itself is very well positioned now for the coming dry season. So I expect that the fundamentals are now in place for the SSRF and its sort of sister program, the CSAC, the Community Security Program, to really start delivering fairly rapid results over the coming 12 months. South Sudan has a lot of challenges going forward. We've just seen a recent outbreak of fresh attacks in Jonglei. We've seen a lot of cross-border issues around South Kordofan, Blue Nile and Abyei. So the relationship with the North will remain a key issue that needs to be addressed. Another issue will be how to ensure the effective assimilation of a large number of returnees coming from across the border and also regionally. There'll also be a very significant challenge with dealing with the intertribal violence, which is also connected with criminality and political interests as well. So it's a really complex conflict landscape, if you like, that unless the roots of it are really tackled, then it does, I think, stand the risk of destabilising the area.